Hello all, welcome to Erh-Tv, the very first episode. So this episode is to give an overview of what Erh is all about. Erh was founded about 10 years ago by myself and two of my relic hunting friends, Jay and Alan. We all met by chance, and since then our group of three has grown to almost 3,000 members. It has its own sales group of a similar membership, a dedicated website, a Twitter feed, and has also become a publisher in its own right. And there's a couple of books under its name already, and more being worked on as we speak. So, what is Erh all about? We're a group of individuals that pulls its vast knowledge from around the globe of mainly World War I and World War II and shares it with whoever wants or needs it. We have membership specialising in very unusual aspects and experts in their own field. But what does Erh actually do? Well, apart from the typical relic hunting and collecting, there's a lot more to Erh. Firstly, we don't just share our knowledge. Erh was founded upon sharing its finds with its members on a dig. Unlike the usual selfish, I found all of these so I'm going to keep them all attitude of most metal detectorists, anyone on a dig with Erh gets a share of multiple items. Like we find large caches of items like dog tags, SOE items, coins. You don't need all of them, why keep them all? Share them. You'll get something back in the end. Excuse me. We've had some incredible days in the past when we've actually found more than we can carry in one trip back to the car. And I normally take a good 80-litre Bergen with me, and for that to be full, it says a lot about what we do. But I'll cover all these crazy days in another episode. Now, the main aim of Erh, apart from adding to finds into our own collection, is to return items back to veterans or the families of them. This has begun to happen on a more regular basis after we dug 14,000 dog tags, a story which received attention from almost every newspaper, both national and local around the UK, as well as also featuring on the BBC. Well, after 10 years, why have we suddenly decided to start Erh-Tv now? Well, after seeing the media make a bit of a hash of any programme which relates to relic hunting, treasure hunting, it's all a bit of a joke, nobody seems to do a decent programme, well, we thought we'd give it a go. Now, one thing I didn't want was a programme that focuses all around me. And just because I'm sort of organising this, I don't want it about me. Erh is made up of almost 3,000 people. So we want Erh-Tv to include as many of those as we can. A lot of these guys and girls have their own sites. We want to include their stories, what they find, and the histories behind those sites. Of course, without giving away the location. Hopefully some of our members who have made videos in the past will volunteer to help me with this project. If not, then I'll probably be harassing you soon, so be wary. Now, although the channel won't be all about me, as this is the first in the introduction, and as I'm yet to recruit any help, you're left with me. So I'll give you some details on myself and how I fell into the strange world of relic hunting. I was lucky enough to win a Garrett Ace 150 metal detector in a competition I don't even remember entering. I took it out for a test drive in some of the local woods and started away to find 303 cases. Once I got home, I looked into the history of the site, and then in search of metal detectorists with a similar interest. One thing I didn't want to find was the sorts of things that stereotypical metal detectorist wants to find, like Roman shoe buckles, old coins, and anything before 1900s. History for me starts in 1914 and ends in 1945, and the majority of Erh would probably agree with that. It was shortly after this that I was contacted by Jay, who said that he had a metal detector and didn't live too far away, and that we could search the site together. We had both now become relic hunters. We had an invitation later to dig a couple of other sites, and it was through one of these that convolutely we met Alan. Soon the three of us were out relic hunting every weekend, and our range of sites and knowledge increased exponentially. We were searching RAF bases, both 1 and 2, US Air Force bases, prisoners of war camps, army training grounds, huge army depots from World War I. One of the favourites of which, nicknamed Canada, will feature a lot later on in this. We've had some incredible finds from that site. If we're lucky enough, I may try and harass the finder of said site and the guy who's got the permission to give us an interview at some point. So, Matt, when you're free.
And now for the news, with me, Sarah McKay, and my mute friend, Jeff. Firstly, we would like to welcome all of the new members that joined ERH recently, and especially to Clive and Mark Wiley. Clive jumped in with both feet, sharing with us a notebook of his father's from serving during World War II as a stretcher bearer. He kept notes of the soldiers he ferried about, and Clive is now doing research on the injured soldiers. What a great project you have there. We look forward to seeing the discoveries. Another dog tag has been returned home to the family. 410974 F.V. Goodwin has gone home to his daughter in Hampshire. Francis Victor Goodwin served in North Africa and Italy as part of the 8th Army. He joined up directly with the 2nd Dragoon Guards, the Queen's Bays. Thank you to Rich Mackin and Barry MacDonald for both agreeing to produce some content for Erh-Tv. They both have some interesting sites. Rich is currently digging a large British World War I camp here in the UK, and Barry's site, in contrast, is a USMC World War II camp, all the way out in Australia. Sunday was, of course, Remembrance Day, which was widely commemorated by members of the group. Jay, Alan and Dan visited Chatham Military Fair. The whole fair came to a silent standstill at 11 a.m, or in fact 10:58, so their 2-minute silence lasted 4 minutes. The bargain hunting mission was successful, the haul including a Third Reich Party flag marked 1939 Berlin, a couple of World War II Suffolk Regiment bed plates, and this small wooden leaflet holder that is marked up US Army Recruiting. It was attached outside a train station in New York during World War I. Sadly, we have no idea what leaflets would have been inside, so if anyone knows, Dan would love to be able to reproduce them. John Mercurio has recommended a book to read. It is entitled The Dead of Winter, How Battlefield Investigators, World War II Veterans and Forensic Scientists Solved the Mystery of the Bulge's Lost Soldiers, and it's by Bill Warnock. John says, I wanted to share an amazing book with the group. If you like World War II history, dog tags and battlefield archaeology, this book is a must-read. The book describes how battlefield investigators, forensic scientists and World War II veterans joined forces to return to the site of the Battle of the Bulge, one of the bloodiest campaigns in history, to find and recover remains of soldiers left behind for more than half a century, in a study accompanied by a DVD containing images of the search and a documentary on the battle. Just a quick reminder about the Extreme Relic Hunters Trading Post Facebook group. Trading is not permitted on the main group, so all sales or swaps must go through the trading post. And finally, it's good to see Richard Burdajewicz is still with us. No more playing with barbecues from now on, Rich. The next episode will be about our Forgotten Army dog tag project, and if all goes to plan, it will feature in a week's time. Until then, happy relic hunting, and if you don't relic hunt, then just be happy.